Welcome, this is Peter Voogd, author of the best-selling book, 6 Months to Six Figures, and founder of the prestigious Game Changers Academy. And welcome to the Game Changers movement. So today we're going to talk about creating a dynamic culture in your organization, how to attract top-tier talent, and how to make sure that you have a culture that is not only congruent with who you are, but is conducive to results. And here's the cool thing. Culture doesn't just eat strategy for lunch, it devours it. And when you have a dynamic culture, you don't have to persuade anyone to do anything. One of the biggest things that took my business from doing $750,000 a year to 1.5 million and cutting the hours I worked in half was building the right team with the right culture. So I'm gonna bust some myths. I'm gonna go through how to build a culture, then I'm gonna give you a system to make sure it's sustained. So first, you can't create a culture that doesn't exist inside of you and that you don't fully believe in that's congruent to who you are. So my question is, what do you care about, right? Your office, your business, and your brand will always be a reflection of you. If you're making excuses, your team will. If you cut corners, your team does, period. If you wake up late, you make excuses, it's gonna happen. If you're being lazy and lethargic, they will be. So you have to hold yourself to the highest standard, but ask yourself, what's most important to you? What do you believe that you can promote consistently? And here's the key. You have to be able to promote that without getting feedback, without getting any guidance, and be okay with people not responding to it. And the problem is, a lot of times when people promote culture and they promote what they want, the reality is they wait for other people's approval and they wait for feedback. This is an investment of persistence. So the reality is you have to make sure that you're promoting that culture until it happens. You're not gonna get approval. You're not gonna get people saying, yeah, let's build the culture. It's your culture. You have to define it based on who you are. So here's a couple keys. A culture is a reflection of three things. What you preach consistently. So every single thing that comes out of your mouth either helps or hurts your culture. There's no in between. So what you say, what your team says, what your receptionists say, what your sales manager, what your executives say, even what the people on the phone say, what the mailroom people say, that's all your culture. So what you preach. So be careful what you say, make sure it's intentional, and only speak if it improves the silence. Second thing is what they see. What they see from you, what they see from your staff, what they see consistently on a daily basis. The problem is most people say one thing but do the other, or they don't actually practice what they preach. And if you want A players to stick around, you gotta make sure you're fully congruent and you are being absolutely integrity. I guess, how do I say this, is you're having integrity with every decision and you're thinking things through but then following through after. So what they see defines your culture. And third, what you recognize. Whatever you appreciate, appreciates. Whatever you focus on multiplies. So publicly endorse positive things in a group setting. Whatever you want to be repeated, promote it, praise it, recognize it, and make people feel exceptional. Okay, that's a huge key. So what do you care about? And you have to pick 3 or 4 movement drivers and things that you're gonna promote consistently to get your team fired up. For example, when I was running an office and I had 100+ salespeople, I wanted them to know that it was about experience and they were gonna get the best experience possible. Whether you're here for 6 months or a year or 5 years, I want you to know that when you're here, you're gonna get the best experience you can. And whether you leave in 6 months or 10 years, I want you to use this experience to catapult you to your greatest contributions. You see, what you have to understand as a leader is you cannot be afraid to lose people, whether it's your best person or not. If you always are claiming it's the best place to work and you gotta stay here and you're confining them to one environment and not letting them have autonomy or flexibility, the good people are gonna leave anyways. And then they're not even gonna wanna promote you or talk about your company as well. And that's the reality. So you have to understand how important that is to make sure that you're practicing what you're preaching, but you're also sharing that You want the best for them, but you don't need them, you want them. Second thing I promoted is financial freedom, right? And I promoted wealth and creating success at a young age, and everything's based on their success, their work ethic. I also promoted memories and relationships. This place is not gonna be easy for you, but you don't want easy. You want something that's challenging and has big rewards. If you want something easy, go to Taco Bell, but there's low pay. So the tougher the challenges, the bigger the rewards. I promoted, it's not gonna be easy. I also promoted, yes, memories and relationships, yes, income, yes, financial freedom, but also experience, so they know that they're getting the best experience. So figure out what you're gonna promote in your company that you're gonna drive every single time you're around people, so they know that drives the culture. And you have to understand, they care about what's in it for them, not the vision a lot. You think that they care about the team? No, they care about feeding their family. They care about being recognized and being rewarded for their time and efforts, and they care about what's in it for them and their future. So keep that in mind as well. What's in it for them is a huge thing to focus on. So as far as culture goes, you have to make sure that you're promoting things that you believe in. For example, I was working with a lot of 19, 20, 21, 22-year-olds. I fully believed with every fiber of my body that if you're not where you want to be, if you're not making the money you want, if you're not at a place where you're achieving your potential, there's no reason you should ever sleep in, period. You need to be hustle and grinding. So I said sleep is for broke people. Now, I had my team scared of sleeping, right? Because I said sleep is for broke people, but the reality is that might not be you, right? I wanted to teach them how to be successful and teach them how to be mentally tough so they can go thrive in this economy. And I think that's a huge key to culture, is making sure they have that. So you have to define what you're gonna promote, and then here's the key. Give proper expectations of what to expect. Okay, that's a key. So tell them what to expect, what's gonna happen, what's good performance, what's great, what's not good. And the biggest key here is be accurate. A lot of companies, I see this in network marketing, I see this in different direct sales companies, they're promoting one thing, the expectations are another, and they don't match up when they actually join the job. They say, oh, you're gonna make money, you're gonna have flexibility, this is the best job you can have. And when it doesn't match their expectations, when they go through a challenge, then they quit because it wasn't congruent. So you have to tell people, hey, this is not always gonna be easy. It'll be worth it, but it's not always easy. In the first couple weeks, you might feel like quitting a little bit, but if you push past that, you'll see massive success. So giving proper expectations, and then when they get on your team, having accountability that you can hold them to, whether it's a weekly meeting, they turn into progress report, or something that's expected of them that you follow through on so they don't slide, is huge. And then third, where most people forget, is you gotta have feedback, which means when you have accountability, when you talk about the standards of your business consistently, you gotta give feedback if they don't hit the standard, not just tell them what to do, not just get mad if they didn't hit the standard, give them feedback on how to improve, but more importantly, teach them how to thrive and say, hey, you did great last week, but I think you can improve on your communication skills. So what I challenge you to do is tell me a couple books that you can read or who you could reach out to elevate your communication skills. Now you're teaching them how to go become better leaders versus telling them what to do so they don't always come to you for help. So what you preach, what they see, what you recognize, but make sure that you're living a culture that you possess that is important to you, that's congruent with your biggest values. Because if not, you're gonna live incongruently, you won't consistently promote it, and the culture is not gonna be top notch. So hope this helps. Leave your questions below. I look forward to connecting with you guys soon, and see you on the next episode. If you got any value from these videos and you're part of the select few who are serious about elevating their game and becoming a game changer, I've created a free deep dive training for you along with some great resources, and I'm also gonna give you the weekly master plan I personally use to plan my weeks. Just click the link above me and you'll get instant access. Make sure to pay it forward by sharing, subscribing, liking, and commenting on what's impacted you the most. Now, if you've been following me for any amount of time, you know I'm very focused on giving better free content than what most pay thousands of dollars for, and this is no different. And I assure you, this training will change the game for you. Here are just a couple things that you're gonna learn in this deep dive training. First, it's the 6 bulletproof steps you must take to create your first six-figure income within 6 months. And I've done it in 4 different industries, and it really dives deep on exactly what steps to take. You're also gonna learn the daily routines of the world's elite performers. You're gonna find out why they get 10 times more done than anyone else and how they create more free time than the majority. Lastly, you're gonna learn what multimillionaire Gary Vaynerchuk personally taught me years ago that changed the game for me and was my biggest aha moment. Very powerful stuff. So make sure you subscribe, share these videos, and if you want the free training, click the link above me to get instant access, and we'll see you on the other side.